Coding Black Females, we were set up in 2017 by our illustrious founder. I'm saying that because I know it's recorded and she might watch it later. Our illustrious founder, Charlene Hunter. She, like maybe all three of us, had been on a journey of coding for a very long time and wanting to meet other Black women in tech, which is very similar to my journey as well. I have been coding for a number of years now. I started going through the very traditional route of going through a tech degree, computer science, artificial intelligence, and then went straight into a role for 10 years. And then I contracted for another 10 years and I started my own business. And through all those things, I didn't meet many other women who looked like me, who had a similar journey. And I didn't, to be fair, until I started my own company, I didn't really understand. I wasn't looking for it that much. But when I went on my own kind of startup and consulting journey, I really started to recognize and realize, why am I not meeting other Black women? And I had a search round for a group that I could join on Meetup. And Charlene had created Coding Black Females, and I joined it. And although I joined it, I kind of said yes to loads of events and never turned up, according to Charlene. And finally, I eventually did, and I met all these lovely other women who looked like me, who had been searching for others, and it just kicked off from there. And 5 years later, I joined full-time as co-CTO along with Tanya Powell. And since then, we have grown from mainly doing events. Well, to be fair, in those 5 years, Charlene was like pretty much hustling and making it grow by doing lots and lots of events and lots of meetups. And then it grew to provide training, training courses, mentorships, and as well as all those events that are helping to educate and inform and help represent and onboard the community into tech. And so now today we're going to be talking about and meeting some of the people who've been through the courses and have had their journeys in tech, and we'll be learning a lot about them. But before we get on to that, I want to make sure you all know about the courses that we have open right now. So we actually still have 2 courses running for the Bristol region into tech, getting you into tech, basically. The first is really a software development bootcamp, and it's around Java. You'll be learning everything from the basics of Java to more advanced topics such as object-oriented programming, software design patterns, and web architecture. You may not know what any of that means, but if you come on the course, you will. It will teach you, and you will become a developer. Applications are still open for this, and you can get to it via our website, which I'll show you again at the end of this talk and at the end of this whole presentation. The second course, a few of grads have also been on, AWS Restart. And AWS Restart is a program that's that we've teamed up with AWS to provide. They provide AWS Restart, and we are now offering it as a course too. And all our courses are free. And this is also online, and it's a program that's based in Bath, Bristol, North Somerset, or South Gloucester. It's free, it's part-time, it's skills development, it's a way to start your career in cloud computing. So we have, if you want to learn about cloud computing, what is cloud computing? How can I get into it? All of the systems that run and power a lot of the tech world nowadays, really, you can go on this course and really kind of get to grasp with it. Now, all of the systems that are created and sit on all those technologies, if you join Entry to Tech, you can experience that and learn how to build them too. So you can apply now through our website using these 2 URLs. Just bear in mind, it's Entry to Tech and AWS Restart. You can also go through the membership zone and fill in the form. You'll learn out exactly when these courses run, how many days, expectations, what you will learn out of it, and you'll hear a little bit more about some of the experiences that people have on this course, and hopefully that means you'll go and apply immediately after watching this fabulous presentation and panel discussion, obviously. So I want to say, without further ado, that sounds really naff and formal, but anyway, moving on to our lovely panel, we have I'm going to introduce you and then ask you to talk a little bit about yourself. So it would be great if you could tell us a bit about your journey, and maybe what you have, how you came across CBF and what you've done with CBF. So I'm going to start with you, Hawa. Let me stop this presentation so that it doesn't take up the whole screen.
Should I start? Sorry.
Please do.
Okay. Well, my name is Hawa. I work as a software engineer at UBS. I mainly have been doing front end since I joined, but recently I've just moved teams, so I'm sort of doing a bit of back end as well. I joined straight after the Black Coder Bootcamp, which took place about 2 years ago or so, which was about 6 months as well, part-time, where we were taught about full stack development, mainly using the MERN stack. And well, that's where I actually was introduced to my current employer. So I think that it was a great opportunity for me to find a job as well. And yes, before doing that, I was doing a degree in mathematics, but I decided to apply to the Black Coder Bootcamp because I was interested in getting into technology.
Awesome, thank you very much. That's brilliant. I'm going to move on to Abigail. Could you please introduce yourself? Tell us the same thing.
Absolutely. Hi, everyone. I'm Abigail, or just Abby as well. I'm currently working as a DevOps support engineer at Lloyds Banking Group. And my journey initially started very, I suppose, in the untraditional sense. So I studied law with Criminology University, so from a completely non-technical background. And it was there I came across the opportunity to get involved in the Black Coder Bootcamp. So it's similar to Howard as well. I saw that as a great opportunity to just get started, even if it may not be something that I would see as being able to thrive in. I thought it was a great opportunity to learn with lots of other women as well that look just like me. And it was. So since then, went through the boot camp, and it was a fantastic way to learn and take on several technical projects as well. From there, then went on to learn a range of skills within a startup where I joined through the Black Coder Bootcamp. And then since then, I've been at my current role at Lloyds for the past year and 3 months now.
Awesome, amazing. I love that. Do a course, get a role. Fantastic. I mean, you can't say fairer than that. Darlyn, we start with you.
Hi.
Okay.
Hi. I started out in architecture a few years ago. So I did it for undergrad, and then I worked in it for a few years. Then I did a boot camp because I was like, oh, I'm going to try something new. So I did a boot camp, and then I went back into architecture. And about last year, November-ish, we'd used AWS in the final bootcamp project, and it kind of got me a bit interested in cloud computing. And when I saw the AWS restart course, I was like, oh, it's fake. So I applied to it, and that's how I got my current job at the showcase. So yeah, again, worked out really well. Yeah.
Amazing. Sorry, excuse me. Amazing. Hewan. I have pronounced that right, please.
Yeah, that's fine. Hi, everyone. My name is Hewan. I have a background in building surveying, which is quite random. But yes, during COVID, I realized that I wanted to do something different. And I've been keeping my eyes on coding Black females and like the programs that Coding Black Female was offering. And essentially, I think I felt maybe that I didn't feel quite confident enough to do anything like coding related. So when the AWS Restart program was being like advertised, that's the one I jumped on because it was like completely, this is for people who don't know anything about tech, like completely fresh to this whole world. So yeah, so I decided to go through that, learned all things cloud. It felt like a crash course in computer science. And then after that, it was a 16-week intense course, which was really fun and interesting. And then at the end of that, became certified. And now I am a data intern in an AI company, or an AI startup here in Bristol.
Awesome, amazing. What already really cool journeys. So you, just to think about the courses, the different kind of courses you are on. So two of you were on AWS Restart, so learning about cloud architecture, and then Abigail and Hawa, you were both on the Black Code Her, which is like our entry to tech level course. Although you were learning like the full stack entry course is Java, you're still learning to become software developers and designers. What was your favorite parts of the program? I'm going to start with you, Abigail.
I think thinking back to especially Black Coder, I think one of my favorite parts was just being able to be in a community where you're all starting from fresh. So I think Hewan, you mentioned as well that confidence, not feeling initially confident as to just getting started, but having a community of people who are starting from similar positions and also have similar goals as well. So wanting to say develop HTML, CSS skills, or just general full stack development skills as well. It was a great chance to just build something together. Also the opportunity to develop a network of other women in tech as well. It was just a great place to be, and be in a position where you're all learning on a similar curriculum, and you have the opportunity to reach out to mentors and several other volunteers across the bootcamp as well who are there to support you, and just throw their all in all the passion just to get you passionate into tech as much as they are as well. So that was my favorite part of the program.
Awesome.
I don't know if Howa, you had a similar experience as well.
Yes, I definitely second that, what you mentioned about community. I actually still keep in touch with a lot of the people that were doing the bootcamp as well at the same time. I think that it was actually really useful and engaging. Well, it used to help you with the motivation as well, right, through the program throughout the months as well. And I think that something else to add on that is, well, I really like that the program gave you the flexibility to build something that allowed you to showcase what are your interests, because I guess that it gives you a way to have a bit of an experiment on what do you like and what do you maybe not like that much. But it's also a way to demonstrate that you're interested in certain industry as well.
Okay, wonderful. And and you, Hewan, what was your favorite part of the AWS Restart course?
Obviously the other guys mentioned that like having the community was obviously like the best thing, and getting to know all these other women, but also for people who don't know how the AWS Restart program works, essentially you get, like I said earlier, you get a bit of a crash course, you get a little bit of a taster of all these different things, and so that kind of brings you up to speed with all like the theoretical things about computer science, and then you go into learning about each cloud service that Amazon Web Services provides. And during that, I really found that I enjoyed coding, weirdly enough, even though that was a thing that I was really scared. And I thought, oh, this is not me. I'm not going to be able to do that. And it's not going to be for me. When I got started, that was the thing that I found I enjoyed the most. So, yeah.
Awesome. And you, Darlyn?
I found the data section was really interesting. Yeah, as Hewan said, we were on the same cohort, so hey, I know. And we did, because we got like such a massive amount, I guess, of information of different like branches of cloud architecture and all the bits that fit into it. There was actually quite a lot to choose from, but I did the data bit really, yes, I enjoyed it. And also I'd done coding before in the boot camp, but doing it kind of in conjunction with like cloud computing for that specific purpose, that was really interesting as well, because I'd never done that. So
okay, that's awesome. And this is a little bit of a curveball question because I didn't tell you in advance, but I'm going to ask just because I've heard about your background, individual backgrounds. So specifically to you, Hawa, how I think there's a lot of fear around starting some of these courses and thinking, you know, oh my gosh, I have to be a mathematician. I have to know and understand formulas to become a developer. How much maths did you feel there was involved in the Black Code Her program?
Yes, I definitely always get told, oh, you must be very good at computer science because you have a maths degree, right? But I don't think that you definitely need a maths degree to become a software developer. I think that maths might help you in terms of the logic and the structure when it comes to like approaching a problem, I would say, because you always need to identify which information do you have and then apply it to, well, just see how are you using that information to find the missing parts, right? But again, I think that the programs with CBF are set up so that you can learn them from scratch. So I would definitely encourage you to still apply, even if you don't think that you are like absolutely really good at maths. I don't think that it's a hard requirement.
Mm-hmm. Okay, that's good to hear. I did not study maths in any shape or form. I did very much the softer arts, so science, some psychology and some biology, but actually English and drama. So that was my background. And
Sorry.
so
I can also just say, like, I still remember that before I am doing the Black Code Bootcamp, I was doing like a short course in HTML and CSS. I remember that my instructor actually did a degree in philosophy. So if you think about it, that's not really related with STEM subjects, but she's still a really good instructor.
Exactly. I think the tech industry is very welcoming to career changers from various backgrounds. And I think that's a good thing to take away and think about, and not let it deter you from applying. So the other thing I heard was, Darlene, you said you had an architecture background. This is a traditional architecture background. So
yeah,
buildings.
like buildings and yeah.
Is there any similarity between that and the architecture of
architecture
cloud computing?
I've got to type. I will say, like, I think like creative solutions, I feel like in architecture, depending on your clients, obviously, technically you tend to want to get kind of the best thing for the least money. That's not going to fall down. It's going to be cute. And in cloud architecture, you also want like the best thing for the least money. That's not going to break. You're not going to lose all your clients. So there is like an element of getting a bit creative and ending up on like the 20th page on Google trying to find a solution. So yeah.
So basically there's lots of things that you can take from your life before and bring into coding is what I'm gonna suggest. Have you got any I'm gonna ask this to Abigail and to Hewan, any key takeaways, like one key takeaway you can say regarding what you brought to your programs into tech, or the program that you were on and you like parts of it? I can ask you Hewan first.
Oh, I was expecting Abigail to
answer.
Oh,
sorry,
something.
Abigail was sorry.
Oh, okay.
Over to you, Hewan.
Sorry. Okay. Okay. What was the biggest takeaway for me? I think I've said this so many times, but I think ask questions. do not be afraid to ask questions. I think that was the thing that I was quite self-conscious of, but kept doing during the class, because I just like to understand things. So I was a bit relentless with my questions. But when I met some of the other girls on the cohort later on, what a lot of them said was, actually, you ended up asking a lot of the questions that maybe we didn't feel comfortable asking ourselves. And that shouldn't be the case. I think we should all feel comfortable to ask questions, and like maybe even if in class you find that maybe there isn't as much time, because there is a bit of a time pressure, do send questions to your instructors and everything, because it's your time as well, right? Like you're also you're also learning, and you're dedicating a lot of time to this program. So yeah, ask questions.
Awesome.
Yeah, I think I have quite a similar key takeaway, but it's more in terms of being able to use just the resources that you have available through the program. So I think I mentioned as well, with the mentors and all the other volunteers available, that they're ready to help. So whenever you do come across a technical issue, for example, or just even a general question about what it's like to be in, what their role is like, if you'd want to have that opportunity to just have a chance to just use those resources, use the time to really get an understanding of what you're learning, but also what it is that you want to get out the end of it, then use those resources, use what's available to you. Obviously to a right amount, or standard, for example. So so yeah, use as much resources as you can get through the program.
Sorry, that is the moment my throat started to tickle. But yeah, thank you very much. Great key takeaways. So just thinking about the roles that you're all in, and this is kind of like the final kind of question, what expectations did you have when you started looking into your current roles, or and were they met, and what were the surprises so from transitioning from maybe not being in tech to being in tech to then being in a tech role, what are kind of the misconceptions or at least the expectations that you had that were challenged? And I'm going to ask that to Darlyn.
I didn't really know too much what to expect, because I feel like I kind of fell into like watching like maybe too many TikToks and too many YouTubers about people's work. So I was like, I don't know what to expect. But I will say, like, the company that I've ended up with, I really enjoy it. I did think it would be a bit more like thrown in at the deep end, like figure it out and kind of sink or swim kind of vibes, but it's not like that. It's like a really supportive environment, and grateful for that. I think it was pretty similar in architecture. There was always some supervisor making sure you didn't like blow up someone's plans. So this is kind of the same kind of vibe in the company I'm at, because I'm still starting from the beginning, and in some respect, obviously I haven't worked in the industry before, so I still have to like get to grips with a lot of the things that they're currently doing. So yeah, lots of training, but lots of support and lots of freedom as well. Like no one is looking over your shoulder, guys. It's great. Yeah,
fantastic. Okay, so if I wasn't in tech, I'll get into it after that. All of your comments. Do you have did anyone else have anything to add? I'm going to pass it over to Hewan.
Yes, so I think what I didn't realize I was going to end up doing when I started my role was just how much I was going to overthink everything I did, and the amount of self-doubt that I was going to experience. That was quite unexpected, because I generally feel like I'm a fairly confident person, and I like challenges. But when you are so new to something, it can be really easy to just doubt yourself, and just really overthink every little detail. And when that happens, again, ask questions. I'm sorry, I feel like a broken record, but that's like the the biggest takeaway I've gotten from this is like, when in doubt, ask questions, and write down everything, and sort of like make sure you're learning as you go along. And yeah, if you don't know it today, you'll learn it in 5 minutes or 10 minutes, maybe a day, and you'll be fine.
Awesome. And Abigail?
Yeah, I was just going to say 100% second, asking questions from, as Hewan mentioned. I think also just asking for feedback as well is just always great when you do have that moment of self-doubt. I think my expectations for my current role, I think even before applying for my current role, I thought I needed to match 100% of the role description in order to see myself as a good fit for the role. And I think from there, I think like many other women, you feel like you need to match all the skill sets that's highlighted 100% before taking the plunge into applying for something. But it's, I guess, like asking those questions and asking for feedback as well. It's something that'd be quite useful for any kind of imposter syndrome, for example, because you then come to realize that those expectations or those ideas that you had previously was something that could be easily solved by just taking some 5 minutes to just speak with someone, for example.
Great advice. And Hawa?
I generally agree with what everyone has said already. And maybe something that I can add as an expectation that I had was mainly like join an environment that encouraged me to have like continuous learning and development, because as a graduate, I was expecting to be in a place where they could sort of support me, but also like where I could have like a bit of an exposure to different technologies as well, because I wanted to try different things. So that's definitely something to look out if it's something that you're interested in. Sometimes they explain it in the role description, or sometimes you have the chance to ask to your recruiter, which is something that I would advise people to do.
Awesome. Thank you so much. I think, yeah, just to summarize a few of those points, I think all of them really, really great. And sorry if I missed any out, but like, ask questions, ask for feedback. You don't need to know everything 100%. There's a really good tip there. Basically, when it comes to even applying for jobs, it's often said that maybe guys will look at it and see maybe 20% at a push and apply for all the skills that are there. They match and they'll still apply for it. Women think I have to hit every single one, and I've often done that. And as I've gotten older, I'm realizing you can just pick it up. Once you know one language, once you know one system, you can figure out most things in life. So you can just do it. So don't look at the course and think, I don't have a tech background, I don't think I can apply yourself, and you'll be surprised. And join a network. This is going to be your network as well. So all the women on the course, they're still in contact with each other. If you're thinking, I need to be with other women in tech who look like me, think like, you're gonna find that here. So yeah, so Eddie, I know there are lots of other great points on that were mentioned by everybody on here, but thank you so much for all of those. I'm gonna open it up. I know there are a few people here. Any other questions? Does anyone in this group have any questions that they want to ask our panel? Please feel free to raise your hand. Can you? This is from who? Me? Can you tell us about yourself? Dominique.
I was just asking the question to everybody.
Oh.
Yeah. But I don't mind telling you a little bit about myself. So it was interesting actually, Efua, as much as we've been speaking, I never knew that you actually started from like a social science kind of background. So I am what you would probably call a non-technical tech founder. I have an e-commerce brand, but I also do marketing for organizations such as Coding Black Females. So I started my company a few years ago, and then I joined the Coding Black Females community because I went to Afro Tech Fest in London. and met so many amazing people. And even though I was on the start of my own tech journey, it was amazing to see loads of people within the industry saying, I've never seen this many Black people, Black women, even Black guys in tech, all in the same room over, I think it was over maybe like 2 or 3 days. It was like a long weekend, and it was brilliant. And I've stayed in touch ever since, and then started my own journey into becoming a UX designer as well. CBF offers loads of really great opportunities. And I think I've spoken to you all individually, and it's really been good to hear your journey. And it was really interesting what you said, Hewan, about not feeling confident and having watched CBF for a while before applying. And I really enjoyed what you said, Abigail, about looking for jobs and thinking you had to apply for every single, you had to meet every single criteria, because that is something, particularly as women, that we do. And I find myself doing that still. And I'm like, what are you doing? You know, because these mediocre men don't care. They'll just apply. And then they'll learn along the way. And women, we just think we have to be perfect and forget that we can also learn along the way, because, you know, we've probably all got different careers in the past. And, you know, when you go to uni or college, you learn things. But then when you actually go into industry, you realize that you don't really use a lot of what you learn in the same way. So you kind of end up learning on the job. So it's been really good hearing everybody, you know, how you've been getting on. But it'd be good to hear from the other people in the room. So there's Kin, Tajana, and Sade. I'm hoping I'm saying your names right. I pride myself on getting people's names correct. If you want to unmute yourself or ask a question in the chat. So I didn't realize Hewan and Darlene, you already knew each other. I didn't know you was on the same cohort. That's really nice. And Abigail and Hawa, did you know each other before?
Funnily enough, yeah, we were in the same cohorts as well in Black
Okay.
We've got twins across.
Absolutely perfect. I love that.
Hi everyone, this is Kin here. It's really lovely to hear your stories and your journey, and it's really encouraging. My background is in IT. I studied computer science way back so many years ago, and I work as a software engineer. And then I took a career break because of family circumstances. And I'm looking into going back into the workplace, and I've been finding it very difficult. But lately, hearing organization like your organization is really encouraging, because you are sharing your story, your journey, and it lifts people up. In the past, there isn't anything like that at all. And also is that there is these free courses available. In the past, if you want to do a course, you have to fund it for yourself, and they were very expensive. And I think, you know, it's looking a little bit brighter for me. So I'm just looking for opportunity to see how I can actually get back into the workplace.
That's awesome. That's amazing. So what are you, how long a break did you take?
Oh, my husband passed away in 2001, and I stopped work in 2002. So it's quite a quite a few years. Yes, yeah.
Right, okay.
About 20 years, yeah. But recently I'm looking into, well, what can I do, and what can I learn? So I've been actually picking up JavaScript, and you know, because for me, I think the future is that we are always going to be interacting with online with whatever applications or services or something like that, and to be able to work on that area is to be good at. It's not easy. I mean, you pick up JavaScript is quite simple actually, because I have background in software development, so quite a lot of the algorithm and data structure I'm really familiar with. It's just that what else can I do apart from learning JavaScript? So I don't know. Maybe you can help me to think about the path ahead.
Oh, absolutely. Well, then I think a lot of the courses, the two courses, JavaScript is actually something that was taught on the Black Code Her course, I believe. So, it's a good entry-level language to start with. I think it's a good language to start with. It's a good language for anyone to learn. So that's actually a great start. And there are also lots of short courses that I'll run as well. If you want to get a taste of something, I think it's good to have an idea of like trying something out first. But again, I think it's also good to expose yourself to as many things as possible when you're trying to, figure it out or get back into it. But yeah, the two courses that are on offer are open at the moment. Entry to Tech, although it's Java based, that's also a very strong language to help get back into the industry, I think. And with AWS Restart, again, you get your certifications on there. That's something that's very, very cool to and key to have, I think. So everybody, what are the certifications you get, by the way, on the AWS Restart course? I think it's Cloud Foundations.
Are you asking us? Sorry.
I'm asking. Yes, I am. I believe it is a cloud practitioner, but
yes, yeah,
I want to make sure.
Right. Yeah, exactly. It's the AWS Cloud Practitioner. That's the one you get.
And the nice thing about having the great thing about that certification, it comes from AWS, is an AWS run course. And so you're leaving with something that shows that your skill set is up to date and you can present on the market. The great thing about Black Code Her and the entry to level tech courses is you're solidly learning maybe one programming language, and you're going from maybe not knowing anything about it to becoming quite knowledgeable in it. And again, free courses that are run in the evening. So that you can work around your own schedule to help with whatever, if you still have a job in the day. I think those are great aspects of the courses that we run.
So is these courses in person?
It's all virtual. Great question. Great question. All of our courses are virtually run at the moment, so they're all online. And again, if you go to the website, you'll be able to see, because they're two different courses, they're going to be running on different days and they have different requirements, but generally 16-week courses that run in the evenings on 2 to 3 nights of the week, depending on which course.
And what are the criteria to apply for this course?
I think, okay, so for this course particularly, you have to be in the bec regions, the West of England region, I believe, for both of these courses, entry to tech. So I think if you go online, you can see, or willing to take a job in that region. But there are other criteria that are listed on the website when you go through your application form. But I would suggest, applying if you really want to learn about tech.
Where are you located?
I'm actually located in Poole, just I think bordering between the West region and the East region. So yeah, in Dorset.
Okay, I think we do stretch that part of the region, so you should definitely apply.
But if I apply, it will be, if I take up a job, the job will be in the West regions. Then it means that I will have to move.
I don't know I mean, you wouldn't have to move, but your job the job may be located in there, and you could potentially, depending what job, if it's a remote job, then not so much. So it's more to do with the fact that you are in that region.
For that course, yes, yeah, yeah. So whether after that course, whether I will apply for jobs in that region or not is a different matter.
We want you to be either working at a company that's based in that region. So it doesn't necessarily mean that you will have to move anywhere. You'll be, if you're qualified to be on the course with your where you're living, then you should be qualified to, and you get a job with a company that's at least based in that region. It should be fine too. But again, this is something that we wouldn't leave. We kind of help you with that journey, that whole journey. But yeah, to apply, that's the biggest criteria. Be willing to be in the region, and willing to have a company that's at least based in that region. Whether that's what you working remotely for that company or not, they just, yeah.
I'm quite happy to work remotely, yes. Or maybe just travel just one day a week or something, and then the rest of the time working remotely. That will be ideal.
I think this is the way of the world now. I don't know actually how often, how are you, it'd be good to know actually what kind of, I'm saying this now, you're all going to be like, we're in the office every day, but what the kind of requirements have you got for your jobs?
Well, I think, I mean, if say suppose the company in Bristol, then it will take me about an hour to travel to work, and that won't be that won't be helpful for me, you know, because for every day you're spending 2 hours just traveling, and that would be, yeah.
I'm sorry, that's my son. It's his bedtime and I usually put him down. Hello, sorry.
I called myself all by myself.
He took his top off all
by Amazing, you took a top off all by yourself. Well done. Sorry. I'm all about approval for children. Sorry about that. Sorry, Kim, you were saying. Yeah, right, good job he's too small, otherwise you'd have seen a little running in. Okay, so
what I was saying is that it doesn't make it won't help if the company I apply, well, if the job is you require me to travel at least 1 hour each way to work, is not going to be helpful for me.
I don't think that, so that's not going to be something that we stipulate about the requirements for your travel. That would really be something that you would be working out with the employer and yourself. However, like I said, it's really about, I think there are loads of jobs available out there that allow you to be remote. That's one of the benefits of being in the kind of like a development world, I think, and there's a lot of flexibility that can be had. So it's really about finding the role that fits for you. I don't think we would stipulate that you have to be in the office. Depending on what company you were applying for and what job you were going for, they would have their own requirements about where you would be. It's really about the location of their offices, the base. It's not necessarily what you as an individual will be asked to do.
Okay, yeah, that's fine, yes.
Awesome. So I think there was a question about, did somebody else have a question?
I was just reading the comments. So we have Tadana, I hope I'm saying your name right, who's located in Glastonbury. And Tadana said that they're enrolled on a web development course and came here to listen to how other women transitioned into tech. Tadana comes from the hotel management industry, so I'm sure you'll find this quite useful because everyone seems to come from non-technical backgrounds. And then we've got, I don't know if it's Sade or Sadie.
Sade. Yeah.
Sade. Okay. Sade is here to support Hewan because you were also and Darlyn, because you were also in the same cohort, so that's really nice.
You should be on the panel.
I know, right? And congratulations.
Oh yeah.
What's happening? You got out of that one.
The next one.
Hi guys.
We are hoping to do like an Instagram live with a few different people from the different graduates. So maybe we'll have Hawa and Abigail, and then Hewan, Darlyn, and Sade. So look
Amazing.
out, a call or a message from me.
Cool.
And Sade, how's your experience been whilst you're here?
My experience has been great. I really enjoyed the program. I thought it was a great opportunity to actually have a structured environment to pursue my goals of getting into the tech field. And the research program was just amazing. Everyone was wonderful. You know, Hewan and Darlyn, we all like, you know, studied together at some point, and we all helped each other. And the instructor that we had was amazing. So I can't complain about anything there. And the support was always there for us. I really feel that I have a solid foundation in not only just cloud, but IT concepts and programming, and it really has helped me to take the next step. With my job, I'm currently with the same employer that I had before, but they approved me to participate in a level 4 apprenticeship in data analysis. So I'm training to be a data analyst with my current employer. So I'm happy about that, and hopefully I can from there I can transition to possibly get a role in AI, because that's a field that I'm very much interested in, as well as Python programming. So right now I'm learning, and I'd like to fully transition to a role in technology, where I can utilize the skills that I have. I really do like Python programming, and I really would like to a role in AI. And I really do think that networking, I could really solidify my path. So all around, everything's good.
Thank you. That's so cool.
Hi, Sadi. I just have a question. Yeah. It's interesting to hear that you are interested in AI. In which particular area of AI are you looking? Are you looking in getting into?
I was specifically looking into the machine learning engineer. I do know that you do have to get an entry-level position first. And from my understanding, data analysis will be a good first step to start investigating that. I know some people, they do go in mid-level as an AI engineer, or machine learning engineer rather. But I feel like my background is in education, so it's not directly related to tech. So I feel like I have to kind of ease in there and kind of do a lateral move into this field.
Mm-hmm.
But with the apprenticeship, they do have a module on that, on machine learning, and it is very math based. So I might be having to take extra courses in math, because it's been like over a decade since I had any like algebra or calculus. So I'm gonna have a lot of extra coursework to do in order to achieve this, which I don't mind, because I like learning a lot.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's very good that your employer sponsor you to to continue your study.
Yeah. Yeah, it's great. Yeah, they were very supportive, and um, there is a component to my role that does work a lot with data, and there is a role that is vacant because the person who was the data lead for the department left. So there is a substantial amount of work to be done with that. So yeah, I'm excited to see like what he was doing, and how I could use what I'm learning for the apprenticeship to help the business and to help the department run more efficiently.
So could you give us some idea what your everyday jobs look like?
Well, right now I'm a early years free entitlement coordinator. So it's looking at the applications for the free entitlement throughout Bristol, and making sure that the applicants are placed in providers, so like early education providers across the city. And this particular part of the program kind of lags behind other parts of the free entitlement, and we always it's very hard for us to know why. So I feel like with the data, I feel I can help bring the KPI up, bring the numbers up for that for my part of the free entitlement that I'm in charge of. So yeah, and also doing other tasks regarding the free entitlement as well, such as sending out free school meal vouchers, and also running what's called an SEN panel, which is like making sure that children with special needs get their extra funding on time.
Right. So how do you how much of your work actually involved in data analysis?
I would say like with the program, my manager, like she's actually giving me like extra tasks to do, which was tacked on from the data lead that left. So yeah, there is a considerable portion of analyzing the data to see why certain sections of the city aren't performing as well as others. Yeah, in terms of placing the children for the free entitlement.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Thank you.
You're welcome. No problem.
Awesome, thank you. Any more questions? Okay, amazing. I think that, God, that would be a really early end to the panel. I don't know if you want to add anything, Dominique.
No, I was enjoying the way you guys just sort of took over the conversation and we were like engaging with each other, which I think is really useful. I guess a question for you all is, if you were to change anything on the course or the program, what would you change? And what advice would you give to people who are thinking about applying for the Enter Tech or the AWS boot camps, if you could describe it in 3 words?
3 words makes it even harder now. I'm thinking through.
No pressure.
Take the plunge. I feel like that's
Okay.
that was thinking on my feet. That fits in 3. Yeah, I'd say apply. Just I think even showing up for this event, for example, is a great first start. Taking the plunge to just applying, and I feel like you find yourself in a great community. Because Coding Black Female, there's so many people there to support. It will be a great chance to just get started. So, for example, with the just entry into tech program, if there's any questions that you have as well, feel free to just reach out, and I'm sure that you find your communities there ready to support. So those are the main things I would say. Take the plunge.
Before we go on to the next person, we have a question from Tajana. Do you want to unmute yourself?
Hi, can you guys hear me?
We sure can.
Okay, lovely. Sorry, I had a few technical issues with my mic here. So I was wondering, after you graduated from the boot camp, how did your job search afterwards go? And I'm especially interested in women who didn't have a technical background before. I'm just wondering how difficult / easy you found it to find your entry level position.
Is that to anyone in particular, or does anybody want to go first?
I'm happy to address that one. So I think that the time that Darlene and I, our cohort, the time that we graduated, coincidentally happened to be a very difficult time in the market for people who are looking to get into tech. I'm sure you've probably heard of like a lot of people, you know, like the great layoff and like lots of people like leaving, you know, their tech jobs, etc. So I would say that I did find it difficult. But I have noticed, just because I'm also still keeping an eye on that at the moment, that it's picking back up, which is really, really exciting. I'm seeing my LinkedIn is constantly like bugging me with all sorts of like new jobs. So at least that has now changed, which is quite good. And I think that's always bound to go up and down. But I think also networking was really important. That's how I managed to get my role. And literally just do what you can, like, yeah, network, apply, whatever avenue you can take to try and get into a role. Yeah, do it.
Okay, lovely. Thank you.
I don't know if that was anyone else's experience, but yeah, that was mine.
Darlene,
Yeah, I think
you want
quite
to go
similarly.
next?
Yeah, I think maybe it was slightly different at the end of the restart course because we had a showcase and we got paired with the company to interview. It wasn't like a definite job, but it was like if you impress them, you never know. And I remember the first showcase, because there were two, the one that we were supposed to go to with our cohort, and then my company pulled out, so I had a mock interview, and I was like, okay, cool. And then I think we met up a few times to like do applications together, and then you kind of block out some time to do applications, and they can get quite long. But it was literally like a thing where you had to kind of get out of your own head and literally be like, okay, I have 3 things and they want 20, fine, I'll apply. And then I got the email for the second showcase and I was like, is it greedy to do the second one? I already had my go. And I was like, oh, I'll be greedy. And I applied for it. And then the company that I got paired with is the company I work at now. So yeah, basically what Hewan said, just apply to everything and don't feel like the worst they can say is no, like they're not going to break down your door. Do you know what I mean? So just apply and network. And I think also like when you're interviewing, like do try to be yourself, because you don't want to end up in a company that's really at odds with the way that you are, because you might not end up wanting to stay there for a long time. So as much as you kind of want to put like your best foot forward and be how you think they want you to be, kind of still be yourself. Like they like you or they don't like you, but if you gel really well with them, then you'll have a better time at work and you'll actually want to be there. So yeah.
And just to follow up on that as well, if you can quickly, the main thing to note, especially with interviews, is that the companies, the interviewers, will know that you are coming from a beginner you are just getting started on your journey. So when you are within the interviews, any questions that they may have, especially technical questions, will be based on those skills that you've been learning over the bootcamp. So don't be afraid that they'll jump straight in into machine learning at the most advanced scale, for example. And I think especially with any technical interviews, coming from a non-technical background and having to go through those technical interviews, thankfully with the program, so I know for Black Coder, lots of those skills were already what we learned within the bootcamp. So any of the questions that came about were based on that beginner full stack software development skills that we'd be learning. And there were also some courses I remember on just catering your CV for tech roles and how to excel within a technical interview, or just tech interview altogether. So when it comes to the interviews, when it comes to applying for the roles, there's lots of support that the programs do offer.
Yes, I completely agree. I do come from a technical background, but I think that things that they have mentioned can pretty much apply to any case, right? And as well, just once more, like networking is very, very, very important. When it comes to application, I think that it's very important as well to showcase that you have done like some previous research to the company that you are applying for, because I guess that you don't want your application to be like very general. If you think that, like, I think that most people think that they can use the same CV for the same job application in different job applications, I think. But I think that you need to try to tailor your CV to each of the job descriptions, if it makes sense. As well, just to follow up on job applications online, I think that it's also important to check at which date it was posted. Oftentimes, job gets posted for maybe a week or two, but during that time framework, there might be a lot of people who have already applied. So trying to check at jobs posting that have been posted like not too long ago can be something very helpful.
Yeah, all really great points. And just to get back to, just to mention what you were all mentioned about the graduate showcases. So one of the things that we do at the end of the courses, entry or at CBF bootcamps, is that we have regular job or regular graduate showcases, or interview days, as they're sometimes called. I think that's what they're called in Black Code Her, where you get to present the projects that you worked on during the program, and we invite loads of partners who are potential employers who will be able to, again, reach out to you after they've seen what you presented, and potentially give you another interview and get you started on that job journey. We also help with some CV support as well, to try and help you do exactly as Hawa said, tailor your CV, make sure you include all of the interesting and important technical skills that you've learnt, and showcase everything that you've been training on. So that's something else to think about as well. But thank you very much for your question. I hope that answered it.
And thank you very much, everybody. I know Hewan has to drop off soon, so thank you to all of you for your time, and all of our guests and the questions and conversations. I mean, if everyone's on LinkedIn, do you want to just drop your LinkedIn in the chat so that we can all stay connected? And I'm definitely going to reach out to you ladies about doing that Instagram live, so just look out for that.
Amazing.
Sounds
Thank
great.
you all so much.
Thank you.
Thank
Have a
you.
lovely evening, everyone. Bye.
So
You too, all of you. Don't forget to apply.
Yeah, definitely apply and